Shalom, shalom, Israel, coming back at you with another lesson. Lord willing, this is edifying. First off, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing this word of truth with truth and sincerity, especially now risk your lives to do so. May you be of the elect. Shalom to all the Akim and the Akwath out there listening and learning. You Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanic, Native, and Seminole Indians, who are the true children of Israel, as well as you speckled bird, Israelite foreigners, the Israelites that look like, act like, and take on the customs of all these heathen nations. So to you, I say Shalom. This lesson is brought to you by the Spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the true name of our fathers, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls by the name of JC. And you can see from this article in RT News, all right, the Hamites, all right, Hamite landmass, should I say, what we call today Africa, all right, this article, and just the audacity, all right, how they even titled this news article, man, all right, and it reads British generosity, all right, let's look into the word generosity real quick, just so we can understand, all right, understand what generosity is. The quality of being kind and generous. Similarities: liberality, lavishness, all right, bounty, open-handedness, indulgence, all right, kindliness, charity, unselfishness. All right, so we get an understanding what generosity means. British kindness, okay? British kindness. The UK, the United Kingdom, is loaning back African gold it stole. We're being kind, and we're going to loan you back the gold that we stole from you. And second title being, is it the best it can do? Wow. The audacity of the Edomite, man. Okay? And you understand why we go out on the highways and hedges and usher in for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to come back and destroy America and get rid of all these Edomites across the globe, man. Because look how they are. Well, British generosity. We're being kind, all right? We're going to loan you back what we stole from you. What the fuck, man? How is that all even all in the same sentence? All right? But let's further read. This was March 30th, 2024. All right? Just days ago. It says, how did crown jewels from Ghana, right, which a lot of Israelites went down into, all right, fleeing persecutions. How did crown jewels from Ghana end up in London, and is there any way to bring them back home? The article says, at the end of January, the British Museum and Victoria and Albert V&A Museum announced that more than 30 Asante crown jewels, gold artifacts that once belonged to the royals, it still belongs because you just stole it, all right? You didn't buy it. You didn't purchase it from them. You stole it, okay? It says crown jewels, gold artifacts that once belonged to the royals of Asante or Ashanti in modern-day Ghana would be brought to Ghanaian city of Kumasi in April. This, however, is only a loan deal between the UK museums and the Ghanaian Menaya Palace, Salakia for butchering that, museum. British laws ban museums from permanently returning contested artifacts to their original owners, which means that despite the announced reparation, the gold items illegally extracted some 150 years ago will only be temporarily placed in Ghana. Will they ever be returned for good? So they admit that they stole this shit and that they created unrighteous decrees, all right, to where they can't give it back. All right, let me read it as it is. British laws ban museums from permanently returning contested artifacts to their original owners, which means that despite the announced repatriation, repatriation, all right, the golden items illegally extracted some 150 years ago will only be temporarily placed in Ghana. Is that not an unrighteous decree? Is this not an Edomite thing to do? But you know, these are your friends, right? These are people you want to hold fast to, right? You don't want to if Craig and Arnold and Brewster can't get into heaven, I don't want to go either. Looking ass, man. All right. These Edomites are ruthless. All right, let's further read though. Historical artifacts aptly depict the culture of a people, given the waning influence of African traditional institutions largely eroded by westernization, exactly. Largely taken away, all right, scaled back by westernization and cultural importation, societal narratives, right? And remember, narratives, meaning to lie, to falsify. Societal narratives find resonance when historical events and souvenirs are relied upon. When when discussing the legacy of culture, tracing back to a time of overpowering community influence on legal, religious, and nuptial relationships, these artifacts lend credence to the veracity of handed down stories. Despite fluctuations in the gold trade over the years, Africa's role as a significant player in the gold market is firmly established. In 2022, a cohort consisting of Switzerland, the UK, US, Hong Kong, and the United Arab Emirates accounted for about 60.6% of global gold sales. However, Africa still holds over 40% of the world's gold reserves. This reality underscores the enduring importance of the continent in the gold industry. Central to the narrative is the story of Ashanti gold. The Ashanti region, formerly known as Asante, holds historical significance for its involvement in the transatlantic slave trade during the 19th century. All right? Again, about the Israelites being sold into slavery. How do we know this? Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Jeremiah 17 and 4, right? Give you a little understanding of this transatlantic trade route, man. All right, because the Negroes, Hispanic, the Native and Seminole Indians were the ones being sold. All right, it says historical significance for its involvement in the transatlantic slave trade during the 19th century. Despite this dark past, it was also renowned for its exquisite gold and brass craftsmanship, as well as its production of kente, a brightly colored woven cloth. These contributions to the global trade market earned the region, which later became part of Ghana, the moniker Gold Coast. All right. It was an easily targeted spot for slave traders and gold grabbers who covertly masqueraded as traders. Right? Therefore, it features prominently in the African historical narrative of capital and human exploitation by Europeans, the Edomites. Dr. Judith Spixley is historian at the Wilberforce Institute for the Study of Slavery and Emancipation, also known as WISE. Yeah, they fucking crafty like that, right? At the University of Hull, in her seminal article, Pawns on the Gold Coast, describes how early in the trade relationship, Europeans, also known as Edomites, took gold pawns as security for debt. However, As unorthodox rules for slave operations weakened and the lust for more gold overshadowed the emergent supply, Europeans turned increasingly toward the use of human pawns. This is no different from other uh, exploitive, exploitative processes that led to the loss of precious resources on the continent. And it goes on. I'll read one more, matter of fact. Let me see which one's worthy. You know what? Let's get to this part. It says the British establishment trading ports, ensuring Britain declared itself a legitimate ruler on foreign soil. See that? They just come in, stamp their mark, and say, we own the shit. The rulers of several African kingdoms acted as middlemen in these trades, often against their will, but had the consent for self-preservation. The spoils from these conquered kingdoms paid for these wars. And Asantehene, ruler of the Ashanti people, signed the harsh Treaty of Formana in July 1874 to end the war. A standout clause in the treaty between Queen Victoria and Kofi Karikari, king of Ashanti, was the payment of 50,000 ounces over 1,400 kilograms of approved gold as indemnity for the expenses caused to the Queen of England by the war. Britain incurred costs from these wars at the expense of its opponents, destroying Africa's biggest empires. I want to read a little bit more. 1874 wasn't the only incident of looting. In 1896, ceremonial swords, cups, and other vital items measuring a palace's royalty were stolen. In his 2020 book, The British Museums, right? Clever, the British, right? The British Museum, the British Museums, the Benin bronzes, colonial violence, and cultural restitution. Dan Hicks, a British archaeologist, anthropologist, and professor at the University of Oxford, repudiates the presence of these artifacts. Let's get into that word real quick because I've never heard that. Repudiates, refuse to accept or be associated with, rejected. Okay. All right. It says that the University of Oxford rejects the presence of these artifacts in Western museums, which perpetuates a narrative of colonial superiority and cultural dominance while erasing the histories and voices of the communities from which they were stolen. And that's all we really need to read. Let's get into it. This lesson is going to go into this article, all right? The British generosity. Wow. Okay? Wow. That's all I got to say about that. Micah 2:1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. I can't sleep right now. This is bugging me. How we gonna go to Africa and take their shit? How we gonna go to any of these places and take their shit? I can't sleep until I come up with something clever, something wicked and evil. That's these Edomites' mindset, man. Woe, destruction, all right, to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. Woe to you Edomites, man, you colonizers, man. All right. When the morning is light, they practice it because they finally came up with an idea. Now they can drool in their sleep because as soon as they wake up, they're going to put what they thought to the plan, man. All right. They're going to put it in pen and paper and they're going to execute what they thought about all night that they couldn't sleep until they came up with some wickedness to do. All right. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. When they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. See? Forcing the Ashanti people to give it up. And everyone else that they came and stole from. So your damn what you call the puppet dude? What's his name? The Pope. Y'all's Pope. Your favorite Pope and everything they got up in there and all these other museums, it ain't theirs. They didn't acquire that by a righteous sales, righteous dealings. Okay, they took that shit, man. And these people got the nerve to say British generosity. We're gonna loan it back to them. We know we stole it from them, but we're gonna loan it back to them. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Jeremiah 22:16. He judges the cause of the poor and needy. Then it was well with him. Was not this to know me, saith Yahweh? But thine eyes and thine heart are not but for thy covetousness, and for to shed innocent blood, and for oppression, and for violence, to do it. You know what? Hey, check this out. We're gonna go to the New Living Testament so you can understand what this is talking about. Jeremiah 22:17 or 16, Salaki. It says, he gave justice and help to the poor and needy, and everything went well for him. Isn't that what it was? Isn't that what it means to know me? Saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. Right? Don't he help? It's like, but you, right? You Edomites, right? You descendants of Esau, but you have eyes only for greed and dishonesty. You murder the innocent, oppress the poor, and reign ruthlessly. Therefore, this is what Yahweh says about Jehoiakim, son of King Josiah. The people will not mourn for him, crying to one another, alas, my brother, alas, my sister. His subjects will not mourn for him, crying, alas, our master is dead. Alas, his splendor is gone. That's what's going to happen when you Edomites fall by the hands of Yahweh Bashim Shai and the Israelites. Ain't nobody going to mourn for you. Ain't nobody going to miss you, man. Because all y'all did was rape, rob, and murder. You've done nothing good for the land. You want to know why? Because that wasn't your gift. Your gift was a sword. Your gift was to take peace from the earth. You are the man of perdition, and it is being known daily. Shit, look what's going on with Israel and Gaza. You letting it be known who you are. Your horns are finally showing to where everyone can see them. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all praise, all honor, all glories to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and all the teachers out there pushing the word in truth, with truth and sincerity, especially in hours of your lives to do so. May you be the elect. Stay prayed up. Repent, not just for this lifetime, but your past lives as well. Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.